Hello, my lovely, beautiful, beautiful souls. I am so excited, so happy to be back today. And we are going to be talking all about our personal power and taking back our own sovereignty, our own inner authority, looking at how we show up for ourselves and in the world. And we're going to deep dive together. I'm so excited. It's going to be so much fun. And I really wanted to take a minute to address the root of where our personal power lies, because as empaths, as sensitive spirits and sensitive souls, we constantly are thinking, okay, we need to take back our power. Solar plexus work, like solar plexus. And that's a great place to do a lot of inner kind of power and authority work. But if we're looking at the root of where our personal power lies, it's in actually the throat chakra, where our voice lies, being able to speak our truth, say everything that we have to say with authenticity. And that's how we express ourselves to the outside world. That's how we communicate who we are to other people, right? So I wanted to do this reading centered on taking back your personal power, but really focusing on the throat chakra and how we can work to kind of unblock that chakra a little bit so that we can show up as our best selves in the world. And something that we don't realize is that the throat chakra is actually the bridge between the heart chakra and the third eye chakra. So it's the bridge between the head and the heart is the throat chakra. And what you can actually see is that we start from the heart chakra, then we go up at an angle to our ears, and then inward at an angle to our third eye, forms a diamond. The center of that diamond is the throat, which is the key to helping to unblock that heart space and the mind space, and helping that highway of energy flow easily between our higher selves and our 3D selves and our souls, right? So something else to really look at is, as empaths, we're always taught, like, okay, work on the heart space, work on the solar plexus, right? And so we're working on those two chakras quite a bit because we're learning about standing in our own personal strength and utilizing that heart space that we've closed down as a coping mechanism because everything was too much, too big, too much energy when we were growing up, and it was too hard for us as sensitive people to deal with all of that. And so we kind of shut down, semi-numbed a little bit to cope throughout our growing up, and then as adults, we realized, okay, this isn't healthy. We open up our heart space, but it can't fully be unblocked unless we address that root, which is the throat chakra. And then once we address the throat chakra and unblock it, the heart chakra can be fully unblocked at that point. And then the heart chakra is actually the bridge between the lower chakras and the upper chakras. So do you see? It's all a system that works interconnectedly so, but it's important to understand that if we want to talk about personal sovereignty, personal power, the solar plexus is a very important space to work in, but the throat chakra just as much so. And I feel like it's very kind of an underrated chakra. Not a lot of people really kind of, I think, understand the importance of personal power and the voice and what that really means. So I wanted to take this video to kind of highlight that, give you a bit of background information. Sorry if it's boring for some of you. You can totally skip if you want. I'm a nerd when it comes to all this stuff, and I think it's so fascinating to understand how everything is connected. It's like putting puzzle pieces together. So I think it's like super interesting to kind of break it down and see how the energies are all connected and how to properly work with them so that we can help to unblock those channels and those pathways so that we can further ascend, right? And be happy and healthy and full of joy. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into our piles. So pile number one is going to be this Om symbol, Sanskrit symbol, and it is a coin. And then on the back there, it's like pounded metal of some sort. I love working with this piece though. So that is the Om symbol for pile number one. Pile number two is going to be this beautiful seashell that I found at the beach. This was, oh my gosh, like nails on a chalkboard. My nail just scraped against that iridescent part and it sounded just like a chalkboard. This is a beautiful shell I found at the beach maybe a couple months ago. They were just kind of washing up onto shore, and I was like, don't mind if I do. Thank you, Gaia. And I said my prayers and I thanked her. But she gifted me with that. So pile number 2, and then pile number 3 is actually going to be this beautiful white stone that I also found while I was hiking. And I don't make a point when I'm hiking or when I'm out in nature to like, forage for minerals or things, but if they call to me and, I ask permission from Gaia whenever I get called to something, and I ask Gaia, is it okay if I take it? And she'll give me either a yes or a no. Sometimes it's a no, right? Because it's there to seed an energy in that specific location, and I respect that and I honor it. So I always want to ask her. But if I'm drawn to something and I ask for permission and she says it's okay, then I take it as a tool, to be able to work with that energy and work with that space. It's kind of like a time traveler piece, for energy, for me to be able to quickly connect to the energy of that time in that space. And I don't know, interesting messages come through. So I don't know why I'm sharing this with you guys. You guys feel like, I don't know, like we're just best friends and we're like cozying in for the night and grabbing our like hot cocoa and tea or whatever, and just like wrapping ourselves in the blanket by the fire, and we're just about to like hop into all about our badass selves and taking back our power and personal sovereignty. So yeah, that's what you guys feel like to me. So anyway, I cannot wait to see you in your readings. Timestamps are in the description as always. And remember, these are general readings, so take the shopping cart method, my friends. Take what resonates, leave behind what does not. Without further ado, I will see you in your reading. Hi friends. Okay, so I actually forgot to mention that I'm also going to be doing a companion meditation to be able to help unblock the throat chakra that you can find. I might get add the timestamp. My gosh, I'll mark it as a timestamp in the description. Oh my gosh, we're here in this together. Okay, we're all in this together. All right. So anyway. My spirit guides gave me this visual for being able to work with up the spine through an energy column and work with the throat chakra, which is at actually the back of the neck. The center of the throat chakra is in the center of the throat channel, I guess you would call it, but the throat chakra actually resides at the back of the neck. So we're going to be using Kundalini energy as well to help unblock that. And I was a little bit adverse to it at first. I was like, Kundalini is a very powerful, like life force type of energy. Like, why are we going there and using Kundalini energy specifically? But my spirit guides reassured me that it's completely necessary to be able to use the Kundalini energy, and it's nothing, it's fine to use that because we need to be able to use that kind of universal life force consciousness specifically in working to unblock the throat chakra. So, it's not going to trigger a Kundalini awakening for those of you who aren't ready for it because, like I said, Kundalini energy is a very intelligent form of consciousness that exists in our universe. And so it's going to do what it needs to do at the right time for your specific soul and the soul contract and the soul path that you have written out here. So don't be afraid of using the Kundalini energy. It's completely safe. And without further ado, I will go ahead and see you in your readings and then in your meditation. All right. Bye. Go ahead and settle in and sit comfortably with the back straight. Then close your eyes or keep them open with a soft gaze. Then you're going to want to breathe in through the nose, and it's like you're tracing the breath from the bottom of the spine all the way to the very tip top of your head. And then you're going to hold and then breathe out of the mouth. So the breath drags along the back of the throat and makes a sound. Let's do that again. So breathe in through the nose, and you're tracing the breath all the way from the bottom of the spine to the very tip top of your head. Then hold, and then you breathe out of the mouth. So the breath again drags along the back of the throat and makes that sound. And keep this rhythm going. Now picture a ball of light at the base of your spine. And as you focus more and more on this light, you can start to see its form becoming clearer. And what you notice is you see the outline of a serpent made completely of bright white light curled up at the very base bottom of your spine. and it's resting there comfortably. And as you breathe, go ahead and put your focus on that serpent made of pure white light as it begins to uncoil, and slowly, peacefully, it makes its way up the back of your spine. And as it does, you know that it's gently releasing any tension as it moves, passing first through the lower back, the mid-back, behind your heart, in between your shoulder blades, and then finally coming up to rest at the back of your neck where your throat chakra is located. And next you notice a line of light starting from the top of the head and going down to the very base of your back. And it's crossed with another line of light starting from the top of your left shoulder and ending at the top of your right shoulder, the center of it being where the serpent is now. And as the serpent curls up and rests behind the throat, you notice it and the crossed lines getting brighter and brighter. The ball of light now at the base of your neck, illuminating all of it in a very soft, serene glow. And just know that in this moment you are completely safe, secure. There is nothing to do, there is nowhere to be. So go ahead and rest in that feeling of security and safety for just a moment longer here. All right, so now we're going to wake up the vocal cords by doing some falling ha sounds that sound a bit like this. Ha. Ha, ha. It sounds a little funny, but I promise it's a lot of fun and it's very therapeutic. So go ahead and try some on your own right now. Amazing. So now we're going to make an sound, and the mouth is going to stay closed, but we're going to want to open up the throat space as we hum. You're going to really feel the vibration in your vocal cords. And what you can do is you can imagine any blockages or stuck energy being broke open here and released as you hum. So it's going to sound a bit like this. Of course, you can choose any note that feels comfortable for your voice, but go ahead and try that on your own now. Okay, so now we're going to make the same ha sound that we did before, but this time it's going to sound more like wind. So it's actually coming from the top of our throat space. It's going to sound like this. And what you can do is you can allow that old energy that no longer serves you to be released as you breathe out through your mouth. And you can picture it like gray smoke dissolving into the air in front of you. So go ahead and try that on your own right now. All right, so now go ahead and choose one of the vocal exercises we just did together. Choose your favorite, the one that felt the most relief as you did it, or the one that you liked the best. And as you're doing that throat chakra healing, go ahead and just listen and relax as you hear the sound of my voice. So as you're breathing, release any time you felt unheard, misunderstood, and wrongly judged, not showing your true self out of fear, also not being appreciated or valued for what you had to say. And also release when you didn't speak up for yourself, when you didn't validate your own feelings or let yourself feel your own emotions, or when you said things you later regretted. Let it all go because it does not serve you any longer. It's okay to leave it here and to not pick that up again. You can let go of those old emotions, those old energies that do not make you feel lighter, brighter, and your best self. We all make mistakes, and that's what makes us beautiful. That's what makes us our broken, imperfect, wonderful selves. Our mistakes are what create masterpieces out of us. And isn't that beautiful? All right, hello, my beautiful pile number one. So if you chose this wonderful middle coin piece, then this is for sure going to be your reading, my friends. So you actually chose here, interesting, okay. You chose trust your faith. There we go. That way the glare isn't there for you guys. Dive into the unfolding journey. It's interesting they had me read that as divine though. It says, what is your faith? Hello. What is your faith asking of you? Also your face. What is your face asking you? Does it need moisture? Do you need a spa day? Honor what your face tells you, pile one. No, but for real. So trust your faith, dive into the unfolding journey. Yeah, I'm getting that song from Anastasia where she's like talking about starting the journey and taking one step, and she has a little doggy with her. I can't remember how the song goes, but it's basically she's walking forward and she's on this journey to be able to get to where she needs to be. Yeah, that's what it's reminding me of here. There's this element of faith. There's this element also of self-trust. I recently did an advice from your spirit team, and there's definitely a pile in there for you, I will just say. This feels very similar in terms of the energy that I was getting from that reading. But I will say there's this element of being able to honor your own inner voice and trusting your own judgment and what you have to say. I feel like some of you may come from this history in your relationships of being gaslit. Gaslighting could have been a really, really common thing that you went through in more than one relationship, in multiple relationships. And that really causes you to, it can be in the form of having your feelings invalidated. It can also be in the form of someone else causing you to doubt your own sense of judgment or your own sense of reality. And it causes you to question how you perceive the world. And they're constantly making you feel like you shouldn't be pointing something out because it has no ground. It's not valid. What you're saying isn't true. And you're like, but wait, I saw that with my own eyes. I know that I'm experiencing this. How are you telling me that what I'm experiencing is not reality for me? Because it is. You know what I mean? I feel that energy with a lot of you. And this is really hindering you being able to take back your power right now. It's causing a lot of blockage in my throat. I'm feeling a lot. It's almost like it's like my upper throat chakra, where I'm feeling this pressure. There's like this pressure in my upper throat that I swallow and I can't seem to get rid of that pressure there. And I feel like you guys have been in this space of not being able to voice what you believe or what you think, or you have trouble making decisions because you don't trust yourself. Other people outside of you have told you who you are, what to believe, how to behave, and you've kind of just been that good person to take that all in, and you internalize all of it. And then pretty soon, you just look like a carbon copy of everyone around you. You're like a chameleon. I know because I've been here too. This was totally me, where it's like you're a chameleon for other people and you reflect back to other people what they want to see. And you get very, very good at being able to read people, pile one. You get very good at being able to understand what they want from you, how they need to be validated, and what they require in order to not be set off. And so you play that part and you play it well, right? And that's always been your role. That's why you're always that person who's like, oh my gosh, you're so amazing, so great, because you understand how to put on those different costumes and you understand that role to play that other person needs, okay? And throughout all of this, it's caused you to be able to be like, wait, not only do I not trust my own sense of judgment, maybe it's like even when you're ordering lunch, you have trouble deciding what to order from the menu because you're just like, I don't even know. So you ask other people, you're like, what are you getting? What are you going to get? I don't even know. You look to other people outside of yourself and you give that control away to other people because that internal compass of yours, it's like been skewed and it's been off kilter because other people have projected their shadow selves onto you. And you've taken it because it's like you were seen as like, this is what good people do. If I'm a good girl, if I'm a good guy, this is how I behave. This is what I'm supposed to do. But that is not truth. That is an illusion, right? Pile one. And that's something that your spirit guides are really, really wanting to call out right here, is this energy of you feeling like you need to cater to those around you in order to be validated, in order to have a sense of worthiness and completeness, right? It's almost like, it's like you take pride in being that shoulder to lean on, that shoulder to cry on for other people. But it's like when you turn around and you need someone, there's nobody there, pile one, and that's a problem. That is such, an issue that other people are not giving back to you what you're able to give so freely and so beautifully. So I'm really getting this energy here of you being able to call back your power, call back. I just had a little like burp. So it's like it wants to come out. This blockage wants to be released. This energy wants to be broken through, right? It's almost like this cracking. I keep seeing like someone, it's almost like, do you know like the olden times? I'm using this as a prop, but it's like you have your little thing here and it's like you go boop, 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 and it cracks against I don't know what you call that. In olden times, they had those thingies. That's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing like a little boop, 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 and it's like this crack. And it's like this crystalline structure in your throat that's causing this blockage and just a little boop, boop, and then it just cracks open. And I'm seeing this energy, this wispy blue, beautiful energy. It's like a rich blue with like gold flecks in there and like some white silvery bits in there too. It's so pretty, but it like comes wafting out of your throat chakra and you emit this beautiful frequency, this beautiful sound. And that's you. That's what wants to come out into the world. And it takes that trust in yourself, that faith in you, in knowing that when you step into who you're supposed to be, you're not going to be excluded. You're not going to be shamed by those who matter, by those who are meant to be in your life. If you get any sort of shaming, blaming, any people that try and throw negativity onto you and tell you that what you're experiencing isn't valid, that's a sign that they should not be going with you into this new chapter, okay? That's definitely what I'm getting straight away for you guys, pile one, okay? This is beautiful though. You're coming into your own is what I'm feeling. There's this element of you being able to release these past projections and allowing your own inner divinity to just flow. That's what I'm getting here. Allowing your inner divinity to flow. That is beautiful. Okay, so we're going to be using my new tarot deck. I'm super excited. So excited. Oh my gosh, you guys. So, alrighty. Spirit, source, spirit guides for pile number 1. How can pile 1 take back their personal power and unblock their throat chakra, please? Thank you. Interesting. So we have the Page of Swords coming through. Okay. Cool. And then we also have the Queen of Coins, or the Queen of Pentacles, coming through there as well. I don't think it's any coincidence either that the background here is this beautiful blue color. There's some violet in there too, but there's like throat chakra energy, third eye energy as well, as the crown chakra. And then over here we have this blue background mixing with the green. So throat chakra, throat chakra mixing with the heart space as well, which is just beautiful. Oh my gosh, yes. Yeah, it like, ooh, and that one wanted to come through too. We have the 10 of Swords coming through there as well. Yeah, it's, oh, interesting. Okay, I'm gonna get the full picture here. Alrighty, so spirit guides of pile number 1. How can pile number 1 take back their personal power and unblock their throat chakra? Thank you. So we also have the Knight of Wands here. You can see that. Oh, hello. I'm going to put him off to the side. Then we also have the 6 of Coins, the 6 of Pentacles there too. Yeah, and then back of the deck energy, we have the Emperor. Hello. Hey. Yes. Inner king, inner queen channeled. Your authority is happening. It is taking place, my friend. Do you see this? Yeah, we have the Emperor. We also have the Queen of Pentacles. You know, and it's so funny because the different suits of kings and queens, they all represent slightly different things. So, you know, the Cups is more emotional body. The Wands is more, manifestation and decisive action, right? And then the Swords is more, fairness and logic and ruling with a just hand. But the Pentacles, my friend, is a very, very special one, especially coming in here, because this Queen of Pentacles represents this sense of righteousness, this sense of abundance within not just, this isn't just, I'm going off on a little tangent. I see the Pentacles not just as physical abundance, but inner fulfillment, inner abundance as well. That's how I've always seen the Pentacles, and that's how it's always rang true for me personally at a soul level. But I especially feel that here. It's like this Queen of Pentacles energy. It's, yes, financial abundance. Yes, it is that sense of authority, but it's also this inner brilliance, this inner light, this inner fulfillment, this inner joy sparking and coming forward, so that it's shining here. And it's paired beautifully with this Emperor energy, which is very much about this wisdom that is happening. There's this sense of justice taking place here, where it's like you have spent a lot of your life catering to other people, making sure other people were taken care of, but it's like you yourself are left on the sidelines and you're left thinking, okay, what about me? But eventually it got to the point where you didn't even think about yourself anymore because you're so concerned with how other people are feeling. There's no time to worry about yourself. And what this is calling you to do is it's calling you to be able to look back within yourself and call back your soul to your spirit. And do you see what I'm saying? It's like, this may have been past life stuff as well, where it's, past life blockages too, where it's like you've had your sense of self taken away, your sense of identity, your sense of who you are misrepresented, misjudged, or malformed by the outside world. And so you learned and you were conditioned in past lives and in childhood as well to be able to look externally for your sense of self, for validation, to be able to look externally and people please for a sense of safety. It's like, yeah, it's all a sense of safety. It's a sense of survival. It's a sense of like, okay, this is how I have my community around me. This is how I feel safe. This is how I feel complete. This is how I feel secure, is if I caretake to everyone else. This is how I maintain my sense of security, is by doing this for other people. But what your spirit guides and what spirit wants you to understand right now is that you're coming into this place of inner fulfillment where it's like trusting in the unfolding journey of who you're becoming and being able to let that shine and letting whoever does not want to come with you on this journey fall away because they were not meant to come with you anyway. But you're coming into this space of understanding the richness of who you are. And being able to unblock your throat chakra is just a matter of you being able to take baby steps. You know, when you're out ordering lunch, or when you're making decisions about what clothes to get or whatever, and you're out with friends, it's like, you know, maybe don't ask their opinion for certain things. And understand that your judgment and what you think matters. And I think also it's a fear too. It's like a fear of, I don't want to make the wrong move. That's what I'm feeling here. It's like, I don't want to make the wrong move. I don't want to do something that I'm going to later regret. So I'm going to default to others' perspectives and viewpoints, and I'm going to take those on. And then at least if I'm not happy, it's like, okay, but at least, you know, they thought it was a good idea too. So it's fine type of a thing, where you need to understand that sometimes it's difficult to be able to have that sense of like fear of regret, you know, when we make decisions. And I'm not talking about with just lunch, but in life decisions as well, right? This goes beyond just like what you're ordering at Mendocino Farms. But it's a situation of being able to trust yourself and be like, okay, you know what? Even if I look back and I'm like, that really wasn't the best decision, or I could have made a smarter choice there. Embrace the messiness is what I'm hearing. Like, yeah, and that's how you can, do you see what this says? It doesn't say tiptoe into this unfolding journey. It doesn't say take a hesitant step forward into this unfolding journey, Pile. When it says dive, my friend, into this unfolding journey, right? And that is how you're going to experience. Yeah, I'm just picturing like Tantor, when that little elephant from Tarzan, when he's like almost going into the water, and then he's like, boop. And he's like, it looks questionable to me. Like, that's what I'm hearing right now. And it's like, you guys are so afraid of making the wrong move, and you're so afraid of being judged and misunderstood and not being accepted if you show up as your full self and say your true authenticity. And you're just like, I don't know what's going to happen. Put a little toe in the water. It feels a little cold. I don't know if I should go in. No, dive in. Trust your faith. In this case, your faith is being able to, I'm hearing from Wicked, one short day in the Emerald City, one short day, da-da-da-da-da-dum. But they go to the Emerald City after following the Yellow Brick Road, and then suddenly they're in this gleaming, beautiful city of jewels brightly everywhere. There's like gold and green and multicolored gemstones everywhere, and it's so beautiful and glimmering and gleaming. And that is where you're headed, Pile One. It's like being able to trust your decisions, take baby steps, right? It's not all going to happen at once, but understand that if you start with the small things and then you get into the bigger things, you start holding your own in a conversation. And instead of you just maybe being the observer and not adding anything to the conversation, but just listening, maybe you add in some mindset of yours. And if someone disagrees with you, allow that to be okay. Pile One, allow that to be okay that someone disagrees with you or someone has a differing viewpoint. We don't all have to agree. We don't all have to think the same things in order for our viewpoints to be valid. Okay, that's a huge thing coming in from Spirit for you guys. So be okay. Yeah, and also be okay with silence. A lot of times what I'm hearing too is you guys may want to fill the silence because you're uncomfortable with the silence and you just want to be able to talk. Some of this may be too, like you guys may say things without thinking. And part of that is just coming again from fear of not saying the right thing. And so you also want to caretake to other people. You're afraid of the silence. You're afraid of what other people are thinking, how they're potentially, judging something or interpreting something. And so you're like trying to be 10 steps ahead of them in the conversation or the interaction. But don't you see that that's exhausting? Yeah, okay. what they're showing me is it's like, and there's a ton of swords energy here, which I'm not surprised about. What's happening is your closed off throat chakra, pile number 1, is causing that energy to go into your headspace. So you're overthinking all of these things. You're very much dwelling on things of like, oh gosh, I shouldn't have said that yesterday. And in the moment, you're overthinking and trying to be 10 steps ahead of people in conversations because you want to like do damage control. But it's so exhausting for you, pile 1. That's what I'm seeing here. It's so exhausting for you. Being able to let that go. Yeah, not always caretake other people with the 6 of coins here. Not always caretaking to other people and giving, and just having them receive. But actually being able to say, you know what? I want to receive now as well. I want to stand in my Emperor energy. I want to stand in my Queen of Coins energy and actually start receiving. Yeah, and then with the Knight of Wands here as well, it's like, yeah, going out, taking action, and being able to be secure in yourself. A lot of red here, root chakra energy, being secure in your choices, in your decisive actions, and your step forward. And even if you make a wrong decision and you look back and you're like, oh, that wasn't the best choice, being firm and decisive of what you're doing in the moment is going to be very, very healing for you, pile 1. Okay, you're going to make mistakes along the way. It's going to be a little bit messy. It's going to be a little bit chaotic because it's a new muscle. You haven't learned to use this muscle, this decisiveness muscle very much yet, this assertive muscle, right? And you don't want to get painted as the bad guy. You don't want to get painted as the mean one. But being mean, being the bad guy, very, very different from being assertive, from being authoritative, having your own inner authority shine through in conversations and in decisions that you make, and standing firm in those, right? No matter what. So that's for sure coming through here for you guys. This is beautiful. This is a beautiful energy. Okay. Yes. Okay, there was something else that I was going to say here too. Okay, let's go ahead and pull a couple of healing cards here. So Spirit and Spirit guides for pile number 1. How can pile number 1 take back their own personal power? Thank you. And unblock their throat chakra. Yeah, unlock your heart. The heart space and the throat chakra, they're brothers. They are brothers. Brother, let me be your shelter. I can see you all alone. I can be the one you call when you're low. Brother, let me be your shelter. Yeah, that's coming through. The throat chakra and the heart chakra are brothers, like I was saying before. So when you're doing all of this heart chakra work and working to unblock the heart, you can unblock it to a certain degree, but there's going to be that last little bit where you're just like, I don't know why this isn't like coming through. Like there's still this little bit that I'm not able to clear. And it's because there's this blockage in your voice, in you being able to show up for yourself, validate yourself through your decisions, and not caretake to other people. And be in codependent interactions with other people, constantly worrying about the decisions that they're going to make, but instead worrying only about how you're going to respond to the situation, right? Not thinking about how they're going to react, but how am I going to respond to the situation? What is my stance here? What do I believe in? And even when other people may project and say like, oh, you're wrong, or saying all these kind of, negative things towards you, or it could be just not negative. They could just have a differing opinion. Like I was saying before, it's not necessarily a bad thing. But standing firm in that still and being like, no, that's great that you have a differing opinion. I hear you that you think that I'm doing this all wrong and that I'm, being a bad person for taking back my power and standing firm in who I am. I hear you. But this is how I'm showing myself love. This is how I'm affirming myself and validating myself. This is how I choose to behave from this point forward. And it's different from how we've been doing things before, but I'm not going to self-sacrifice anymore for your benefit. That's very strong. Some of your relationships are not quite that toxic or one-way street sort of a situation. So of course, use personal judgment, but that's for sure coming through for at least a few of you in some of your relationships. But being able to unlock the heart space too, it's like that's going to also help this this throat, because yeah, the heart space is going to help with the kindness. When we just have an unblocked, you know, throat chakra with no heart space mixed in there, we can get a little not ruthless, but a little bit careless with the way that we interact with other people. And we're just, you know, sometimes it can kind of go in the opposite direction where it can be a little bit unhelpful. Yes, we're affirming our truth and we're speaking our truth, but maybe we can be a bit more sensitive to the feelings of the person we're talking to, or maybe we can be a little bit more compassionate with the way that we're communicating. But the idea here is that you're communicating your boundaries, pile one, but you're doing so with kindness. You're doing so with love, but you're doing it firmly. You're not backing down if someone has a differing opinion or if someone says that what you're doing is wrong, because you know that inside of your heart, this is what's right for you, okay? This is what's right for you. So that's why unblocking the heart space and the throat space is very, very important, because that's going to bring the compassion, the love, the kindness into that authentic voice that you're now speaking from, okay? All right, spirit and spirit guides, how can pile number one unblock their throat chakra and stand in their personal power, please? I love this new tarot deck. I'm so excited about this, y'all. It is so pretty too. Do you see those beautiful colors? Can't really with the light is kind of hiding the middle too, but it's beautiful. I love it. And you guys know me, I'm all about rainbow. So I'm very, very excited. Here we go. I want to get it so that we get the last reading. I actually cut off quite a bit of the tarot, and looking back, I was like, it didn't look as good. And for you guys, I feel like you would want to see more of the tarot and the oracles kind of side by side. So we're going to work on that. Ooh, she just came bursting through the door. I heard, I came in like a wrecking ball. Miley Cyrus coming through. That's so funny. Okay, so we have minimize guilt here. Yeah, exactly. Don't let other people make you feel bad for taking your power back, for loving yourself enough to be able to stand in your own inner authority. Don't you let other people make you feel that way, Power One. Do not, okay? If anything, let my voice ring in your ears. Let it ring in the ethers of your eardrums, pile one, so that when people try and tell you that you should feel guilty for imposing your boundaries for a healthy, reciprocal relationship, you in turn say with love and kindness, I'm sorry, but no, I said what I said, right? Beautiful. Don't let them make you feel guilty, okay? That's not the business. That's not what we're going for here, okay? So we have 32, take positive action. And we have stop breaking agreements. Yeah, with stop breaking agreements here, number 31, I'm getting more so with yourself. Stop sacrificing your own inner peace for the benefit of others, right? You need to be able to take care of yourself first and foremost, pile number one. And you want to act with compassion and kindness with those around you. You don't want to be callous. You don't want to be mean in the way that you do it. But at the same time, your inner peace, your inner security, your inner integrity, you know, honoring your own emotions, validating your feelings and where you're at, that matters most, okay, my friend? That matters so much more than someone's opinion or someone, you know, not being able to give to themselves what they need, and so they feel they have to look outside of themselves and take from other people because they are lacking so much internally. That's not for you to take on, pile one. You need to stop breaking that trust with yourself and learn. Yeah, it's like learn that you can charge I think it's so funny too. These ladies here are blindfolded. She's blindfolded and reaching her hand out this way. She's blindfolded and reaching her hand out this way. It's like they're meeting in the middle, and take positive action is right in the center here. No coincidence. I think that's a beautiful synchronicity. Minimize guilt, stop breaking agreements, take positive actions between the two. Exactly. Take positive action. And like I said, that starts with maybe not asking other people's opinions when you're doing things or in conversations. Be okay with silence. You be okay with differing opinions. Don't backtrack when someone disagrees or when someone has something negative to say about your opinion or what you've expressed. Don't backtrack, because then you're only invalidating your own self. Stand firm in what you said. And that's going to be a great exercise for you to be able to actually practically work out. And that's going to really help to unblock your throat chakra. Also doing a lot of throat chakra exercises. Like different intonations. Sometimes I'll just do different intonations with some meditation music playing in the background, like like it doesn't have to sound pretty, but it's being able to unblock the depths of your vocal cords, so that you can open up those channels, open up that energy, get that energy flowing through there, so that you can release that stuck prana, as it were. That's what prana is, the correct term. If we're going to be accurate, super accurate and super spiritual, it's prana. And then we also have release fear. Yeah. So being able to also not be afraid of what might happen or what people might say, but instead trust that your own happiness, your own joy matters so much more than anyone else's two-bit opinion. Okay? I went there. Hello. I went there for better or for worse. We went there together. But yeah, understanding that it's like, okay, what I think matters more than what anyone else has to say, right? What I think about myself and how I feel about my own spirit at the end of the day matters so much more than someone misunderstanding what I'm about and what I represent, you know. That, yeah. Oof, this is heavy stuff here, pile one. Like, this is a big lesson to learn, okay? And your girl, honestly, I'm still moving through some of this stuff. You know what I mean? Like, this is a work in progress for many of us, right? And I think a lot of us would be lying if we said that we didn't go back to this space sometimes. As light workers, as empaths, as sensitive souls, we go through a lot of these lessons here, and it's tough. It's tough, right? But it's so worth it. It is so worth it to do this work. Because on the other side, the amount of peace that we feel, the amount of fulfillment, the amount of joy, it's like, mwah, you know, chef's kiss. It's beautiful. So beautiful. Okay, so for my Isis Oracle deck, we have Queen of Heaven, blessing from the Divine Empress of the Skies. So you have Isis there just like rooting you on, being like, girl, guy, I got you. I got you, right? Bottom of the deck, Goddess of 10,000 names. Isis, endless emanations of the priestess. Yeah. Being able to rock this beautiful divine form, whether you're male or female gender-wise, being able to rock this divine energy of like, bam. Like, this is Beyonce energy here. You know what I mean? Like, hello? Beyonce, are you here? Did you ring? I got you. Hello? That is what I'm getting here. It's so beautiful. Look at that. Yes, this is you. This is what you're meant to do. This is who you're meant to be. You're meant to stand in this power. You're meant to stand in this authority. It's going to be messy. You're going to make mistakes, pile one, but that's okay. That's what we're here to do. But being able to exercise your own voice and not take it back, not backtrack, is so much more powerful than you questioning yourself and second guessing yourself. So make sure that you do not Take it back, okay? Don't take it back. That's what I'm hearing. Your spirit guides are adamant about this. Don't take it back, okay? Use personal judgment, but for the most part, you know what I'm trying to say here. Exercise that personal inner authority and that sovereignty. And that's going to be some really, really good exercises that I gave you earlier on that you can actually practice. Both physically and then in your relationships to help you unblock your throat chakra and take back your personal power. Hey. So file number 1, it's been such an honor to be able to tap into your energy, my friends. Thank you so much. If you liked this reading, go ahead and like and subscribe to see more videos like this. I love you so, so, so much, and I will see you in the next video. All right, hello, my beautiful pile number 2s. So if you chose this gorgeous seashell that I found at the beach, ooh, look at that. Look at that. Yes. Hello. Oh my gosh. I love looking at pretty shiny things. It just makes me so happy. Anyway, this is for sure your reading. Pile number 2, my beauties. So let's go ahead and see what you have here to take back your personal power and unblock your throat chakra. So we have number 28 here. It says, don't run from the darkness. Embrace the shadow side. Embrace your shadow side. What aspect of yourself have you been afraid to look at or address? Interesting. Okay. I just heard the word labyrinth. Yeah, what they're pointing me to. Do you guys remember in Harry Potter, in the Goblet of Fire, in the 4th movie, where at the end, Harry is going through, there's this big maze. And there's like different points where he's having to solve these riddles and going through this maze, and it's very confusing. And it's like, this is what he needs in order to like win the Tri-Wizard Cup tournament or whatever the case is. That's what's coming through here. It's like for you guys, it almost feels like there's like this suppression, or there's this like pushing down of your shadow side, or of negative feelings in general, because it feels like this big labyrinth to you, this big maze, where you don't know which way is up, which way is down. And it's kind of a little bit scary, to be honest. That's kind of the energy that I'm getting. It's like, I don't want to go in there. Like, shoot, you're going to go in there. Like, I don't even have a flashlight. I don't have nothing. Yeah, I don't have a flashlight. I have this like stick. I have like a couple stones. That's it. I don't have any other form of protection. I am not going in there. And that's kind of what this energy feels like. You kind of see your shadow side as something that is kind of this big, vast darkness, that this big kind of lake where you can't see the bottom of the water. Did you guys ever have that, where if you were at the lake and you were paddling your little feet in the water and you were, and then you looked down and you couldn't see the bottom of the water, you would scream and you would get afraid, right? And you'd be like, oh no, why can't I see the bottom? There's a sea monster that's gonna come and get me, right? It's kind of funny when you say it, but that's kind of the energy too that I'm getting. It's like you feel like you're 4 years old again, and you're in the lake with your little life vest, and you look down and you can't see the bottom of the water, and the water is so big and so dark, and it looks so scary, and suddenly you just want to go back in the boat. You don't want to be in there anymore. Get me out of here. That's what I just heard. Beam me up, Scotty, is what I just heard. Some of you maybe, what is that, Star Trek? Or not Star Wars. I think it was Star Trek. Anyway, the point is, it feels like the shadow work for you guys is like big and scary, and you're like, I don't even know like where to begin. It feels like a big maze to me, a big labyrinth. Where do I begin? So what I have to say to you, Pile One, or rather what Spirit has to say to you and your spirit guides, is that your shadow self is something to actually be embraced. Because your shadow self, when you actually pull back the layers and you shine a little bit of light on that labyrinth, right? Or you shine a little bit of light on that water, you start to understand that your shadow self is really just as scared of you as you're scared of it. It's the scared parts of you where you learned to cope. You learned coping mechanisms to be able to survive, to be able to, be a part of this world, to where it wasn't super unbearable for you. And those are those coping mechanisms and the personalities that those coping mechanisms created, or why they had to be created in the first place. That's really what your shadow self is. It's that scared little boy or little girl inside of you. It's that part of you that doesn't feel worthy, that doesn't feel seen, that doesn't feel enough. It's that part of you that feels angry all the time for no reason whatsoever, and you're not sure why, but your anger scares you. That's your shadow self. It doesn't know what to do with those big feelings, and so it just sits there in the dark, right? But our jobs as the light workers is to be able to give a little bit of light and love and compassion to those painful sides of ourselves. That's really all it is. It's just hurt parts of ourselves that need a little TLC, right? I feel like that's a song, but no song is coming to mind. So clairaudience kind of failed me in that one, but I feel like TLC, that's a song. Yeah, TLC the group too. I just heard Don't Go Chasing Waterfalls. But no, what I'm getting here is it's like being able to understand that your shadow side is really just compiled like hurt parts of yourself all in like one space that need help, that need love, that need a little bit of guidance and direction, so that they can be transformed into some light, right? That's the idea. It doesn't have to be this big scary task either. I was giving an energy kind of overview a few days ago that I dropped about kind of what this energy shift is that we're experiencing and what's happening and why. And something that the spirit guides wanted me to make sure that you guys know is, shadow work doesn't have to be done 100% by ourselves. Like, we don't have to carry the team on our back and be the hero and save the day and, kill ourselves in the process of, we're so exhausted when we get to the finish line that it's like, oh my gosh, I don't have anything left inside of me. Like, it took everything I had just to be able to do that. Your spirit guides, they're really coming through again here to be able to say, look, call on us and say, I don't even know where to begin. Like, there is this huge ball of yarn here. I don't even know like where the frick it starts. Like, I'm just staring at this and I don't even see like a beginning or an ending here. It's all like, I don't know what's going on. So be able to call on them and ask them to unweave a little bit of this for you. And ask them to help alchemize these energies in your sleep, help you to break through some of these blockages or barriers while you're sleeping. Yeah, while you were sleeping. Rom-com from the 90s coming through. Hello, Sandra Bullock, love her. Neither here nor there. Anyway, so yes, that's what I'm getting here though, is it's like being able to utilize your spirit guides, and they're like, hey, they're chomping at the bit. They're like, call on us. Like, we want to be in the fight with you. We want to help you here. We want to see you win. You know what I mean? It's like, Rocky type of energy here, or Rudy. You guys remember the movie Rudy? Oh my gosh, yes, total like, yeah, they see you as like the fighter that you are, and you're in the ring and you're boxing and you're taking all these hits, and they're like, you're doing such a good job. Beautiful. Like, I love you, you beautiful soul, but you don't have to do this all alone. Call on us. We're reinforcements. We got your back. We got your six, okay? Is what I just heard. And they're ready and waiting to just come to your rescue and be a part of your rescue team, to help you. So beautiful. We're going to put this over here so that we can see more of the pretty lights over here. I think last time I did the opposite and I covered up some of the prettiness. So we're just going to do that. Okay. So pile number 2, spirit and spirit guides of pile number 2. How can pile number 2 take back their personal power and unblock their throat chakra? Yeah, and I feel like being able to take back your personal power, pile number 2, and unblocking your throat chakra being the gateway to taking back your personal power, that all comes through first being able to acknowledge your feelings and express your feelings in a healthy way. If you need to cry about it, if you need to scream into a pillow, if you need to go, just do some hiking, or whatever the case is, like whatever outlet that you need, healthy outlet that you need, right? That doesn't require disassociating, like when we, may do alcohol or drugs or any of those other unhealthy things, or, physical intimacy to cover up what we don't want to acknowledge. That's all not what we're going for here. That's disassociation. What we're looking for are healthy creative outlets to be able to feel these feelings in their fullness, and giving ourselves permission, more importantly, to feel those feelings. Yeah, we have 10 of coins here. Beautiful. Yeah, there's so much light, there's so much richness that wants to come out from inside of you, but it's being blocked right now because there's this fear around not wanting to, I just saw this big moth in my room fly up by my light. So moths could be significant to you, or they could be a spirit guide wanting to work with you, but that was definitely a confirmation of whatever it is I just said there. Sorry, when you're channeling, it's like you're half here, you're half not here. I don't even know. So I'm not sure what I was just saying there, but whatever it was, that's like reconfirmed by that moth. And then we have the 5 of Swords. Yeah. Oh, interesting. Okay, let me get the full picture here. Pile number 2, Spirit and Spirit Guides of pile 2. How can they stand in their personal power and take? Thank you. Yeah, we have 7 of Coins. Harvest. It's harvest time. That's what I just heard. It's harvest time. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Beautiful. And then we also have King of Wands coming through there as well. I have my new tarot deck as well, so that's what this is. You guys know I love my rainbow colors, so I'm very excited to be able to start using this deck with you guys. Okay, thank you. Yeah, and then we also have the Wheel of Fortune coming in here too with Leo energy at the very top with that lion. Okay. Interesting. I'm going to pull one more card actually. So we're going to make this work. 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 Gonna make this work. Okay. Guidance for pile number 2 on how to take back their personal power and unblock their throat chakra, please. Spirit and Spirit Guides of pile number 2, please. Almost. I keep getting almost energy. Not quite, but there is something in here that wants to come through. Ooh, yeah, two more that want to come through. Okay. So we have the 9 of Wands. We're just gonna do that. And then we also, ooh, beautiful. Yeah, we have the Queen of Swords coming through here too. And you know what? This was a bonus card, so she wanted to come through. I'm actually going to put her right up there. We're going to put the Queen of Swords right up there. Back of the deck, we have 6 of Wands energy. Yeah, celebration. You're the hero coming back to yourself. Yeah, you are the hero of this story, okay? Pile 2, like this is victory is afoot is what I just heard. Victory is afoot. And it's like, oh my gosh, what I see here. Yeah, okay. Being able to, number 1, acknowledge and express your feelings. Yeah, I'm almost seeing like, what do you call that? Where it's like this big vase being filled up with like white sand, and it's this beautiful blue vase, and it's in your throat space. That's what I'm seeing here, but it's being filled up with white sand. But once it's filled up, then it's almost like it tips over. It's like there's something that, like in a mouse trap or whatever, like in those kid movies where you see those contraptions where it's like one thing sets another thing off, sets another thing off, sets another thing off. It's like once you fill your throat chakra and you're able to fully express your feelings, when you're fully able to acknowledge, you know, the pool of emotions that you have going on, it's like that's going to cause it to tip over and come pouring out. And it's like this beautiful, like almost like streams of water now that I'm seeing coming forward out of this, which is just gorgeous. And water also being emotion. That's what I'm seeing. That was a beautiful vision. But yeah, it's almost like there's water energy coming through here with this blue, and then also this blue energy coming through here with the Queen of Swords. But there's so much richness inside of you. Do you see all of this pentacle energy? You're about to reap a harvest of understanding why you're here, what your divine purpose is what I'm hearing. A lot of you are going to come into your soul purpose, understanding what you're meant to do. And that starts with being able to do this root work, but not root chakra. It's like this root work within your voice, finding you, because you actually reside in that inner authenticity in your throat space, being able to verbalize who you are and how you show up in the world. But that starts with you being able to look at all of these deep, dark parts of yourself that don't have to be scary, but instead coming at them with a perspective of love instead of fear, using that higher vibration to understand that those are just really scared, vulnerable parts of you that need love, that need to be shown compassion and tenderness and kindness. But it's like, yeah, I'm seeing also here with the 9 of Wands and then the King of Wands here, there's this big realization that you're coming to about, wow, like there's some realization that you're coming to about not it's almost like this realization that you are not your emotions, right? So, okay, this is what I'm getting here. So for a lot of you, you could have had childhood where you weren't allowed to really express your emotions. Yeah, okay, so you weren't allowed to express your emotions. And so you were in this dynamic, especially with your family and with other friends, where you weren't really comfortable speaking out and saying what you thought, because you were almost punished when you were shown like, I don't want to see you crying. I'll give you something to cry about type of a thing. Like that's the energy that I'm getting from this childhood that you guys were in. And there's this energy here of you being able to, it's like you were shut down because of it. But now you're coming out of that energy of, and that's part of why you're not wanting to look at your shadow side too, is because you almost don't want to acknowledge your emotions. You don't want them to be there. It's like you want to be able to pretend like everything is okay. And what it does is your body stores that energy. Your body remembers, and your body stores that, and it creates blockages over time. And so that's what's happening here in the throat space that we're seeing, is it's like you haven't been able to fully let your inner light shine through because you're so busy suppressing what you don't want to be there. You're so busy being at odds with yourself because you see emotions as something to be feared or something that's negative or something. It's like anger was the only appropriate form. I said anger earlier in here, didn't I? Yeah, anger. There was like, you're angry for no reason. You don't understand why you're angry, but it's almost like in this type of like dynamic, anger was the only acceptable form of emotion that could be showed. Or like, it's like crying was not allowed here. Okay. There was no room for tears. There was no sort of deep philosophical conversations about how are you feeling? How did that make you feel? None of that really happened in your household. And I think it's because your parents, and your grandparents by extension, they didn't know how to acknowledge their own inner selves either. They didn't know how to properly show their own inner children and their own vulnerable, broken, scared parts love. And so they covered it up. They numbed themselves. They covered it up with anger, with irritation, with annoyance, with a lot of like, I'm hearing like snapping, like not just snapping like this, but like I'm hearing people snapping in terms of a conversation. Like, I didn't say that. Or like, no, I didn't say you could do that. What are you trying to do here? No, I didn't say that. That's what I'm hearing. And that's like the type of energy that they're making me feel. It's like that type of like, at odds with each other energy. And that was the only acceptable form of being able to show any type of emotion really. But Yeah, being able to, you were never really consoled as a child. You were never really validated in your emotions. And so you learned to kind of shut yourself off from them and learn that they were kind of this bad negative thing. So now as an adult, you're recognizing like, oh gosh, I don't know like these vulnerable parts of me. I've never actually come face to face with them, right? And that's what we're addressing here today, pile 2. This is powerful stuff. Oh my goodness. Wow. I need to just take a second here. I'm feeling a lot of energy. Okay. Where is, yeah. Oh, I can't reach it. Okay. We're going to take my calcite and just kind of the ground a little bit. But the good news pile number 2. So that's the background here. But the good news is what I'm seeing is nothing but good news. We have the 10 of coins. We have the 7 of coins. This is all about personal abundance, reaping what you've sown, right? You have a beautiful heart, pile number 2. Yeah. And oh my gosh. Yeah. With the King of Wands coming through here too, it's like you have this beautiful light that just wants to come through and shine, right? And there's been, unfortunately, some things that have happened to you in your growing up that you didn't really have a lot of control over. A lot of it was fate. A lot of it was soul contracts also is what I'm hearing. It was designed to be that way, but in your 3D avatar mind, you're like, why did this happen to me? Like, I feel like I'm a dysfunctional adult now. But what you're seeing here too is like this beautiful restoration with the 9 of Wands as well. Do you see how he's like putting that wand down on the ground? He's finally setting it down. I'm hearing this. It's like, lay your swords down, right? And in exchange, it's like you're coming from this 9 of Wands energy where you're this knight on a quest to be able to have these inner parts of you restored and healed so that you're whole once more, so that you're complete once more. And then you turn into this King of Wands energy from this, and I know it might not be a knight here, but they're showing it to me as a knight right there, right? And then you have this beautiful celebration moment. I just heard, celebrate good times, come on. Da 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 da. Celebrate good times, come on. Yeah, and then in the back of the deck too, we have the 2 of Cups. It's almost like this is you. And then this is like your shadow self, and you guys are meeting in the middle, and you guys are learning to become one. You're learning about justice for the self. Ooh, beautiful. Yes. Your spirit guide just gave that to me. Justice for the self is what you're working on right now. And you're working on letting this old part of you die. And it's not a bad thing. What it is it's a shift in the way that you think about emotions. It's a shift in paradigms here. You were taught that emotions, were bad, or somehow you weren't validated as a child, or there was a very rocky kind of circumstance around your growing up in childhood in some way. And this is being able to say like, hey, let's actually put that to, this is not so much death. It's being able to put something to rest. You're putting to rest your old faulty ways of thinking that were passed down to you through generations of no fault of your own. It was passed down through generations because your ancestors didn't know how to deal with it. And so it went from one generation to the next, to the next, to the next, but it stops with you. Pile number 2, okay? And then you're coming into this beautiful, King of Wands energy where you're entering into this decisive action, but there's this beautiful heart space energy that I'm getting here. But there's this fairness to you. There's this beautiful, like, I know who I am, and there's nobody that's going to take me out of my own energy. Like, I'm standing here and I'm owning this space for what it is. Like, this is me, and you can't take me out of my element. That's this energy, and that's the place that you're getting to. But this is from a healthy perspective once you've actually learned to authentically express your emotions and acknowledge yourself by validating your own emotions and how you feel. That's going to provide so much healing for you here, pile 2, okay? Beautiful. So let's get some healing deck cards coming through here. Spirit and spirit guides of pile 2, how can they unblock their throat chakra and have more of their own personal power shine through? And I think it's funny that they just had me say it, have more of your personal power shine through. I think you guys deal with a healthy sense of self. You don't really deal with a weak sense of like, you know who you are, pile 2, but there's like this element of needing to understand that emotions does not equal weakness, and vulnerability is really your greatest strength here. And when you pair that with your healthy sense of self, you're going to be unstoppable. Unstoppable, honey, unstoppable. Hey, that's what I'm getting here. I don't know whose spirit guide that was, but I just channeled someone's spirit guide with that. That was a specific type of energy that they were making me feel. So we have number 18, learn from karma. Exactly. I feel like this is family stuff happening here. This is family, faulty family thinking that was passed down generation to generation, that it was almost like, well, this is the way that my parents treated me, and this is the way of thinking that they had. And so I'm just going to give that to my children as well. But it's like, no, being able to understand that we can actually change the way that we think about emotions and that we think about softness. Yeah, we can change the way that we approach those ideas. Yeah, so that they're not seen as a negative thing, so that they're seen as something to be embraced. Yeah, and then we also have 25, release fear here. So yeah, there could be a lot of fear, like I said, around, there's this big labyrinth of like shadow work, and you're like, I don't even know where to begin. Again, call in your spirit guides, have them help you with this, pile number 3, okay? Pile 2, oh my gosh, hello. Pile 2, have them help you with this. Because it's not meant to be 100% what you work through on your own, okay? It was never meant to be just you, is what I just heard. It was never meant to be just you. Your soul contract, when you incarnated here, you have a specific set of soul tribe family members on the other side helping you, that are meant to help you through this incarnation and help you with the lessons that you're learning at this time. Pile 2, okay? So don't be afraid to call on them. They're here specifically for that purpose, here to help you. And then we also have relinquish control here. Yeah, interesting. And the back of the deck, we have reverse disassociation. Yeah, so a lot of you could deal with what I was saying before, where you use substances or, physical intimacy as a way of like disassociating and getting out of that uncomfortable energy that you feel that you don't really want to acknowledge. Yeah. And for a lot of you, I feel like this could also spill over into romance. I don't want to make this a romance reading, but I am hearing for some of you that you feel like it's not safe to love, or it's not safe to fully be in that vulnerability kind of headspace that you get to be in when you're in love with someone, because you were taught that those types of emotions are scary or bad, or you could have come from a family where divorce runs, throughout your family line, and you've never seen a healthy marriage. You've never seen kind of that beautiful reciprocity of like a loving relationship, a romantic relationship between two people. And so for you, it's almost like this fear coming in of emotions, not only of your own emotions, but how you relate to other people. It's like you don't want to get too close to other people. Yeah, it's like being able to, like I said here, relinquish control. It's like she's snipping this this rope, tying her to this other person here. It's like, this is your family, and these are the values that they kind of put upon you, not knowing any better themselves. But it's like, now that you're an adult and you can think for your own self, you're like, I don't think I want to continue on that tradition. I think it stops here with me. I think I want to call this the end of the line for this paradigm, for this thinking pattern, for the way that we relate to other people and to ourselves, right? Beautiful, which is a beautiful, courageous step, might I add. It's always scary kind of being the first one, but so rewarding, because your kids, your grandkids, you're going to be their hero. Yeah, oh my gosh. Oh, I'm seeing, oh my gosh. I'm seeing an up. Do you remember the last scene, you guys, where Oh gosh, I can't remember their names. But anyway, the young boy who's the Boy Scout, he's standing there. He wants his last pin. And then the older man, the elderly man, he comes up, and then it's like this grape bottle cap pin that he pins to his little lapel for his Boy Scout suit. And he's like, I'm giving you the Ellie pin. And Ellie was his wife who passed away. But it means so much to this boy because he's now completed his, you know, his little whatever badges on his shirt, and he's so excited. And it's beautiful moment. That's what I'm seeing there. It's like you being able to give to your children and your grandchildren what was not given to you, but they're able to feel completely different. Like, oh my gosh, they're gonna your family is gonna do big things. Let me just say that. I'm feeling big energy from you guys. Yeah, okay. Beautiful, beautiful. This is you guys are movers and shakers. You guys are going to change the world, but it all starts with not being afraid of your emotions, with being able to show the broken, vulnerable, shadow parts of yourself love and compassion and grace. And then, just like fire. Yeah, I just heard from Alicia Keys, this girl is on fire. Yes, that's exactly what this is. Beautiful. Okay. So, spirit and spirit guides for pile number 2. How can pile number 2 embrace their personal power more and unblock their throat chakra? And if you didn't hear it in the intro, I am going to be doing a throat chakra unblocking meditation that will pair to this that you can go and watch as well. And that's going to be super powerful. We're using the Kundalini energy to be able to unblock the throat space, which is universal consciousness. So it's going to be a good time. My spirit guides helped me to channel the meditation. So stick around for that. I think the timestamp, y'all, put it in the description for us. So make sure and hop on over to that here afterwards as well. Oh my goodness, there we go. Okay, so we have Eye of Horus, awakening divine perception. Yeah, being able to see your circumstances differently. What you thought was once bad is actually healthy to experience. And then we have the Knot of Isis, energetic stabilization with the buckle of the beloved. Yeah. And this reminds me, it's funny, this reminds me of the Ankh, which is all about life form, and it's a conductor of energy that were used in lots of ceremonies from high priestesses and priests in ancient Egypt. So I'm definitely getting here. It's like once there's this big alchemy process taking place, once you're able to tap in to these vulnerable parts of you, to this shadow side of you that needs healing, it's like boom, 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 boom. Yeah, just like I was saying before, it's like one thing triggers, and just like in those kid movies, it's like those contraptions, one thing triggers another, triggers another, triggers another, and it's like this domino effect. And pretty soon, it's like this is like the last little bit that you need before you're coming into your abundance, your breakthrough, your here-ness in the world. Like this is your last piece, I'm hearing, that needs to fall into place in order for you to be able to just go out there and frickin' sprint, run, and have all of the blessings come in for you, okay? Awakening divine perception, though, understanding emotions are not to be feared, understanding that it's not weak, it's not vulnerable. They're very, very, it takes a strong person to be able to have their emotions, to be able to feel them, and to identify what they're feeling and why. EQ, emotional quotient, is something that you see in high-level executives and business owners, and high-level, whatever, like regional managers and whatnot. As you go higher up the corporate ladder, those individuals have, yes, high IQs, intelligence quotients, but the emotional intelligence as well. And it's paired together. And that's what's happening here. Your emotional side and your intellect is pairing together, pile 2. And it's going to be a beautiful marrying of the two, a beautiful joining. And you're in for a wild ride. You're in for a treat. Okay, my friend, you are in for a treat. Let me just say. Okay. Pile 2, it's been such an honor to be able to tap into your energy. Thank you so much, my friend. If you liked this, go ahead and like and subscribe to see more videos like this. I love you so, so, so much, and I will see you in the next reading. All right, hello, my beautiful pile number 3s. So if you chose this gorgeous white stone. It almost reminds me of like a saber-tooth tiger shape with the stone. You know what I mean? But it's beautiful. It's this beautiful white stone, and then it has a little piece of like orange on it, if you can see that. But anyway, so this is going to for sure be your reading, my friends. Love that guy. Okay. This is going to be how to embrace your personal power, and also how to unblock your throat chakra being the root of being able to address your personal power, right? I went through that at the beginning. Solar plexus equally as important, but we often forget about the throat chakra as being an important piece of personal power and owning that personal power. And we jump to the heart, the solar plexus, but forget about the throat. So this is a very important reading for that reason. Let's see what you got here. So we have, you are the joy seeker. What little victories can you celebrate? Yeah. So I just heard in my mind, well, obviously, I'd be really concerned if I started hearing it like in real life, IRL. But I heard from Encanto where they're in the girl's room. I can't remember her name, but she's the one who like creates flowers. And in her room, it's like this beautiful jungle of flowers, but she sings a song, what else can I do? What else can I do? Yeah, it's like that's coming through. It's understanding that you're this powerful co-creator and owning that power. It's understanding that you're not powerless. You're not a victim to the rhythms of life or what happens to you in life. You're always co-creating with the universe, with spirit on your reality. Some things are out of our hands. Yes, some circumstances we can't control what happens to us, but we can always choose how to respond, right? But also it's coming at this from a perspective of seeking, like it says, joy seeker, but seeking that wonderment, seeking that awe perspective of embracing your inner voice, of embracing your throat chakra and opening that space back up, right? That's exactly what I'm getting here. It's like this beautiful coming together internally, this like integration within yourself where you're like, okay, I know that I want to feel like my biggest, baddest self, like here to stay type of a thing, like hello, coming through, I am that bee type of a thing, like, you know, that beautiful personal power where we're unapologetically just like doing what we do and saying what we say and not thinking twice about it, instead of overthinking, right? But there's this element here too of you being able to turn it away from this like big task of like, oh gosh, how am I going to do this? You know what I mean? Because it's almost like we're coming from this element of, you know, maybe overthinking or being kind of insecure or nervous or not sure how to really stand on our own 2 feet. And we kind of will, like I was saying for pile number 1 a little bit, like we'll backtrack sometimes if what we say like differs from another person's opinion or what they have to say or their perspective, but instead looking at it from this angle of like, okay, let's instead focus less on other people and more on what sets me apart, what makes me unique, and what brings me happiness. Like, what do I want to do? Where do I want to go? What do I want to experience? You know what I mean? Like, I'm the creator. I am the script writer of the movie of my life. Like, what do I want to happen next? What do I want to have happen next, right? So there's this energy of being able to just have fun and kind of play and laugh your way through this throat chakra unblocking that's happening here. And my friends, I am going to be doing a throat chakra guided meditation. If you didn't hear it in the intro, I have it timestamped in the description. So you will be using the Kundalini life force conscious energy to be able to help unblock that throat chakra space. So it's going to be a good time, but I'm going to be doing that for us as well in this video to be able to help further accelerate your journeys so that you can get into this energy faster. That's the whole idea. So yeah, it's like being able to understand that I am the manifester of my life. I am the victor, the hero, the champion. Yeah, I heard Queen. We are the champions, my friends. Da, da, dun, dun, dun. And we'll keep on fighting till the end. Ba, bum, bum, bum. Yeah, that's coming through. So it's like understanding that life is not always this serious task. And when we're calling in our personal power, it can be a little bit scary. For this, I'm not getting so much fear from you guys, but it's more like an unsteadiness, an unsureness of like, oh, do I put my hands here like this, or do I talk like this, or how do I look, sort of a thing, and like, am I doing this right? You know what I mean? And it kind of feels like this, like, oh my gosh, when I was in middle school, we used to call people that were pretending to be other types of people. I look back on it now and it's like so dumb, because it's like we can be whoever we want to be, and we can borrow personality traits from whoever we want to if it feels good within our souls. But we used to call them like posers. Like, oh my gosh, you're such a poser right now. You're posing like as this other person, you know, because you really like the style of like this other group of people and how they dress. And so you decide to adopt like pieces of that and how you dress. I'm not talking about cultural appropriation. That's something entirely different, right? Let's all be mindful of that as well. But in general, like harmless stuff of like, I want to dress a little bit more like hipster and like bohemian, and I want to add that element to my style. And someone calls you a poser because you've up until now dressed a certain type of way, and that doesn't fit with their paradigm of how they see you. And so they interpret you being not true to yourself, when in fact, we're all just continually discovering pieces and parts of ourselves as we move through this life together. Isn't that the beautiful piece of it? That's what, you guys, like, we come to this planet. Number one, this planet is a very, very highly requested planet to be able to experience living on. Like, there are souls all over time and space and dimensions and galaxies that want to have lives here on Earth. So for us to be here, it's like, this is a hot commodity type of space that we're in right now. But it's like, this is meant to be experienced, enjoyed. It's meant to be indulged in to a certain extent. Like, yes, we're here to do work, but at the same time, we're on this ever expanding journey to discover who we are at our cores. And that can change, and that evolves, and that's the beautiful part. We're not in boxes. We're not stick figure people that can be put into categories, and we stay in that category for now until forevermore. Like, that's just not the way the cookie crumbles, my friends, okay? That is not the way the cookie crumbles. I like Chips Ahoy cookies and Oreo cookies, might I add. I'm just saying, just putting that out there. I like the chewy Chips Ahoy. The regular ones, not so much. I'm not really a crunchy chocolate chip cookie person. I know some of you may have vastly different opinions. It is what it is. Like, let's just call it a day. I'm not going to change my stance on that. All right. Anyway, this is beautiful. Okay. So yes, you are the joy seeker. You are the one calling in this happiness, this fulfillment, these experiences to you. And it's beautiful. Like, do you want to go to a concert? Do you want to take up a new hobby? Do you want to go, with your friends to a new country and take a girl's trip or a guy's trip somewhere? Like, let your imagination run wild. We're not meant to be put in boxes and to stay there. Like, let's live a little, right? And I'm not saying like, be super rash and go out and like quit your job and like move halfway across the world. Like, that's not the type of change, embracing of change that I'm talking about here. If we're going to make big decisions like that, let's be responsible. It's almost like I feel like in the commercials where they're like, drink responsibly. I feel like the same thing here. It's like, make responsible life choices, right? Do your due diligence and think them through. But to a certain extent, it's like, yeah, get a little bit messy, get creative. Like, color outside the lines, see what happens. You know what I mean? Okay, so we have Ace of Coins happening here. And I have my new tarot deck. I'm so excited. I love this deck already. You guys know I love my colors, my rainbow. So I'm very, very happy to be able to use this. Then we have the Two of Pentacles here as well. It's in French. I can't read French, but thankfully the guidebook is in English. And you can tell by the pictures like what card it correlates to in the tarot. Thank goodness. Because at first I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize that the cards were in French. What am I going to do? But it's okay. I have to sell it on eBay. No. It's okay. Does anyone use eBay anymore? That's a real question. Do you see also, it's like my energy is so different from your reading versus the last two piles. I feel so much more like there's so much more of a lightness to the energy happening here. And it's like, don't take yourself so seriously, pile 3, right? Let yourself just kind of let your hair down. Yeah. I heard, girl, put your records on. Tell me your favorite song. Just go ahead, let your head down. Sapphire and faded jeans. I hope you get your dreams. Yeah. And then we have Justice here as well. Just go ahead, let your head down. And then we have 4 of Wands. Beautiful. Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, and then we have the Queen of Cups, you guys. Number 1, these cards are gorgeous. Like, look at that artwork, can I just say? But also, number 2, the cards that we're pulling are beautiful. Look at this story that's unfolding here. This is gorgeous. Gorgeous, darling, gorgeous. You're so gorgeous. That's what I'm feeling here. Oh my goodness. Yes. All right, we're going to pull one more. Spirit and spirit guides. How can pile 3 embody their personal power and unblock their throat chakra? Singing might be a really good way for a lot of you to unblock your throat chakra, or yeah, just singing. Okay, this is what I encourage you to do. I encourage you to, on a Sunday, some week, take a Sunday drive out through some windy countryside roads if you're near them, or on the outskirts of the city, somewhere with a scenic view. Go out and actually just experience this beautiful moment of putting together a playlist of like some of your all-time favorite songs that just make you feel so elated, so joyful, and just roll the windows down, pump the music up, have the breeze going through your hair, and just sing. You know what I mean? Like, spend some time just activating that throat chakra, but what you're doing too is you're activating that heart space. So like I was saying in the intro, is that our heart space is highly connected to our throat chakra. So a lot of times we'll do all this heart work and we'll be like, there's still a missing piece here. What's going on? It's because we have a blocked throat chakra. They're brothers, the throat and the heart. So we need to learn to unblock the throat. That's where the root is. And that will help to unblock the rest of our heart chakra too. And that's where we can have this authenticity, this truth, this beautiful, like, our unique like footprint that we leave on this earth, but it's paired with that kindness. It's paired with that compassion. It's less bull in a china shop and more like suave. I just heard Rico Suave. I don't know why that came through. But yeah, more of like this suave energy of this, I don't even know what the comparison would be. But yeah, less bull in a china shop and more like not that. I don't even know what the opposite would be, but it's just not that. And we're just going to take the top card here. Let's see. Okay. So we also have Page of Cups here as well. Yeah, you guys are going out for it. You guys are getting after it, my friends. Oh, and then I guess, yeah, bottom of the deck would be Queen of Wands. Yeah, a lot of fire energy happening here too. This is beautiful. So it's like this energy of being able to, there's this balance that needs to happen. Yeah. And you also see too, it's like these balancing of scales happening with right there. And then this balance between these two coins, this balance of being able to let your soul shine and being unapologetic for it. And allowing yourself to, it's like there was this energy I feel in some of you of like losing yourself in other people is what I'm getting here. Where you were losing yourself in other people a little bit or in friendships. And it really was causing a little bit of a dampening kind of on your mood here, where you're just like, okay, I don't really feel all that happy. I don't really feel all that like tremendously fulfilled, right? And it's because there was a lot of maybe you putting so much of yourself into all these other relationships that really caused you to not take less care of yourself, but it's almost like this energy of you're focused so much on what's happening outside of you that you don't understand, like there's this snowball effect of going on inside of you of like, okay, suddenly you wake up one day and you're like, man, I'm not where I want to be. I'm not happy. Like, what the heck happened? And it was all of these micro decisions. It was all of these little moments of you making these choices of looking outside of yourself and giving so much of yourself to other people that it's like, okay, let's actually pull some of that back and let's balance this a little bit and have this beautiful energy space between being able to, it's like holding your own as well. It's being able to seek out that happiness, seek out that joy, but also holding your own space, holding your own light, holding your own energy in this space, and allowing people to see like, this is where I end and you begin. Like there's no like, you know what I mean? Enmeshment happening here. It's like, this is me, this is you. And it's like, I'm hearing Come Together from the Beatles. Come together right now. Yeah, it's like when you guys come together, it's like this beautiful foundation. Instead, this could be with platonic relationships or romantic relationships, but with the relationships moving forward, you being able to seek out this joy and this like complete bliss. Yeah, bliss is the perfect word to describe here. Joy and bliss that you're finding within yourself. It gives you a stable foundation. Yeah, this is my firm foundation, the rock on which I stand. That was not good. But anyway, you know, when everything around me is shaking, I can't remember the rest of the words. But anyway, yes, there's a strong foundation. There's a strong balance that's happening here. When you learn to be able to, it's kind of like pile one, but this is very different. This is much lighter energy. I feel like with you guys, it's just this little tweak that needs to be done of like, oh, I need to just shift my perspective a little bit and recognize that, okay, I'm seeking out my joy, my bliss, and I'm actually holding my own. It's like I'm standing here and I'm not moving. Oh my gosh, I just heard this script. You guys could be super clairaudient too, or just love music in general. I'm getting a ton of songs here, but I'm hearing the song, I'm not moving, I'm not moving. Da, 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 da. Yeah, that's coming through. And if one day you wake up and I don't know, that's what's coming through. So we also have the Queen of Cups, and then we also have the Page of Cups as well. So to me, this is very much talking about this fulfillment that you have inside of yourself. Again, lots of bliss happening here. And I'm seeing a lot of like, there's a lot of like pure, I don't know why I'm seeing like just this beautiful prima donna flowing skirts energy of just like swish, 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 coming down the castle like stairs. And you know what I mean? She's very confident in herself, and she's very much like serene and at peace with who she is. Like that's how this is this is that vibe right here for the Queen of Cups. But it's also this beautiful solar plexus energy coming through with the Page of Cups. And there's all of this emotional fulfillment that's happening here for you guys, which is just beautiful. You're coming to this space where you're actually at peace with yourself. There's this justice coming through where it's like maybe before you were at war, maybe with yourself or with the people around you. There was this internal struggle is what I'm feeling. This internal struggle between doing what you want to do or doing what you're supposed to do. And I'm hearing that those were self-imposed limits that you put on yourself that didn't need to be there in the first place, right? So it's being able to shrug off that old programming that no longer serves you, finding this justice, this balance within yourself, and claiming this beautiful inner fulfillment that I see here. I was telling another pile that for the Pentacles, I not only see it as financial abundance, but I see it as personal abundance as well. Abundance in all areas of life, right? Because Cups is all about the emotions and emotional fulfillment. Swords, very much about different things. It can be overthinking, or it can be air energy, thought, ruling with fairness and justice when we get to the king and the queens. And then with wands, it's all about swiftness, action, manifesting. But with pentacles, I see it as very much not only abundance financially, but soul abundance as well. And that's beautiful that this ace of coins is coming through here. The ultimate soul abundance is happening for you guys. Do you see that? That is just gorgeous. Gorgeous cards. Can I just say again? Yeah, and it's like we pair that, the Queen of Cups, and then we also have the Queen of Wands here. So it's like being able to pair this blissful, serene, emotional energy where you have a healthy relationship with your emotions and you're at peace with yourself, and pairing it with this fiery, do you see that fire at the bottom of her dress? Pairing it with this fiery manifesting energy of like, here I am, this is what I have to say, everybody make way. Oh my gosh, I just heard the song by Billie Eilish, You Should See Me in a Crown. You should see me in a da 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 da. Da-da. Yeah, that's what I'm getting here for sure. I love that. Okay, spirit guides and spirit for pile number 3. Can I please have messages on how they can embrace their personal inner power and unblock their throat chakra? Thank you ahead of time. XOXO, Elizabeth. XOXO, Gossip Girl. Some of you may like to watch Gossip Girl, or you've seen it in the past. I don't know, that just came through. We have 31, stop breaking agreements. Yeah, okay, interesting. Yeah. Let's see. Okay. Oh, yep, that one wanted to come through. Okay. Yeah, step into the unknown. I just heard, isn't it beautiful sometimes to wander? To wonder and to wander. Hey-o. Yeah, but I'm hearing like it's this dual energy of not all who wander are lost. That came through for a different pile too. There may be more than one pile in here for you guys actually. But it's like being able to step into the unknown. Isn't it wonderful to wonder? Isn't it wonderful to wander? Yeah. Wandering, what does that mean? I think of it as like meandering, moseying, you know, all of the I was such a nerd in school, so I'm so sorry, you guys. I'm like Scholastic Book Club over here. So it's annoying to some people, right? So I was going to apologize, but actually, hello, let's take our own advice here. I'm not going to apologize because it's who I am. I don't do it to be annoying. I do it because it's me, right? But when I think of like wandering around, I think of like moseying or like going for a stroll or meandering about, you know, like that's kind of what I feel when I think of wander. And I feel like that's you guys too. It's like, instead of, yeah, it's like, again, this pull me between what I need to do versus what I want to do. Instead of like being so tied to the obligations and the responsibilities for a second, let's let that go. And let's actually just like go and indulge a bit. Yeah, I'm getting such like Eat, Pray, Love vibes from this, where she goes to Italy and she eats her way through Italy type of a thing. And that's like what I'm getting here. It's like you guys are very much in that space of like inner indulgence, finding your inner bliss. Yeah, that inner passion. That's what I'm getting here. Yeah, letting time stop for a little bit. That's what I'm getting here. Exactly. So we have explore your ancestry. Yeah, there's for sure another pile in here for you guys. Yeah, so for some, okay, I'm going to pull one more card. I'm going to pull one more card. They want me to pull one more. Let me see. Oh, and then stop breaking agreements. I haven't spoken on that card yet. So we have things to do, people. We have things to do. We have cards to talk about. Okay. Let's see. One more card, please. One more card for pile number 3. For pile number 3. Da, da, da. Thank you. Okay. Then we also have number 29, show self-respect. Yeah, giving yourself that inner love by being able to honor this stage of growth that you're in. And then you have support. Yeah, okay. Beautiful. Yeah, there's very much this energy that I'm getting here of you guys being in this place where stop breaking agreements, right? I want to start here. Stop breaking agreements internally. What did I say before? It's like you guys are in this phase of being able to balance out internal struggle versus it's like you were sacrificing external peace for internal struggle. And that's what I'm getting here. And it's like, stop breaking those agreements with yourself. Be able to honor yourself and honor this beautiful path that you're on of just like skipping down the road and like free flowing with your bell-bottom jeans and I don't even know, like barefoot, just like running on the grass. That is what I'm getting here. Embrace that part of yourself. Don't push it away. Right? Allow it to come forward, allow it to happen because it's going to unblock this throat space and it's thereby an extension going to help unblock the heart space, right? And so, and also remember our heart, once that's fully unblocked, that's also a bridge. Okay, so I was saying in the intro, if you guys missed the intro, the throat chakra is a bridge between the heart and the mind, right? But once that heart chakra is unblocked, the heart chakra is a gateway from the lower chakras to the upper chakras. So it all fits together. It all flows, right? But throat chakra is really where it begins in a lot of areas. And I'm seeing here, it's like being able to understand that this is a sacred time in your life. This is a beautiful time in your life. There's a little bit of uneasiness. Again, there's not so much fear here, maybe a little bit of feeling scared, but that's really not the energy that I'm getting here. It's more like uneasiness, trepidation. You're a little bit nervous. You're a little bit insecure. Some of you may identify as being really shy. That's kind of the energy I'm getting here. And so you're kind of like, I don't know if I think this is what I'm supposed to be doing, but I'm not really sure. But it's being able to take that step anyway. Being able to honor yourself from the inside out, honor those agreements that you made with your soul to be able to help you feel fully whole and integrated inside by honoring your feelings and the path that you're on right now, stepping into this unknown, exploring your ancestry as well. Yeah, and showing that self-respect also by being able to look at maybe past karmic cycles that your ancestors have gone through. I'm hearing that for some of you, this is kind of a problem of the family. This starts with the family. That's where the roots of some of this work is. This uneasiness, this nervousness, not being able to stand firmly in who you are and like not sure of what to say or what to do or how to behave. Like that all stems from kind of a tumultuous childhood or an uneasy childhood that I'm getting for a lot of you. And so being able to explore why your parents, why your grandparents made those choices, those decisions the way that they did, because those were really just broken people who grew up in broken environments that didn't know how else to respond. And so they just continued to pass down the same. But you're actually understanding, you're becoming conscious of those patterns and you're saying, actually, let's maybe change this. There's no reason to continue doing what we've always done. Let's maybe look at this a different way, come at this with a new energy, with a new perspective, right? Showing yourself that self-validation, that self-respect, that self-love by, again, going down this path with vigor. I just heard with vigor. I just heard all together now. All together now. Yes. And understanding that along the way, you have the support of your divine spirit team. You have the support of your higher self, of spirit, of your spirit guides, of your angels. You're not alone. You are not alone, okay? And you have all of this divine guidance to help you as you're breaking into this beautiful new leg of your journey, this new chapter. It's so beautiful. I love this energy. There's nothing to feel uneasy about. There's nothing to be nervous about. I was telling another pal this too. It's, we're meant to make mistakes. It's going to be messy. It's fine. You know what I mean? Like that's what is, life is meant to be experienced. Life is not meant to be thought about again, thought about another time, thought about. Okay, and then we take one timid step forward. No, it's meant to be just like, let's like go. Let's dive in. Let's be here. Let's be in this moment. Let's experience everything life has to offer. Like that's the energy I'm getting here. Beautiful, beautiful for you guys. Okay, we're going to finish up with an Isis Oracle card. So spirit and spirit guides for pile 3. How can pile 3 unblock their throat chakra and embody their personal power? How can they embody their personal power and unblock their throat chakra? Whoa. Oh my gosh. We got a jumper. More than a jumper. That was a leaper. You've got a leaper. Okay. That means it's extra important. No, I don't know. I'm just saying that. So we have truths unveiled, the revelations of Isis. Yeah, you're finally becoming conscious of these past decisions that you made and these past energies that you were in and that you were born into with your family. And you're becoming conscious of that. You're becoming conscious of the choices that you were previously making that weren't making you feel totally happy and at home within your own soul. And now you're taking a second look and you're like, wait a second here, like something's not right. I need to like reevaluate this situation. I got to come at this from a different angle. I gotta, fix something here. And that's what's happening. You're starting to uncover and excavate. I'm seeing like an archaeologist digging up those like dinosaur bones. So like that's what you're doing with your inner world here. You're becoming conscious and you're becoming, a conscious co-creator, a conscious manifester. And you're becoming aware of what you're thinking and why you're thinking it. Why did our family always respond this way to certain ideas or ways of being? Why do we have these beliefs? Why are they here? How can they be changed? How can we look at this from a different perspective, a different angle? What may be a better solution here? What may be a better way of approaching this issue that we see in front of us, right? And that's what's happening here. You're taking that conscious approach. And it's so beautiful because now you're embarking on this beautiful journey of self-fulfillment, bliss, and pure joy. And then we also have, oh, geez Louise, I don't even know how to say that. Do you guys know how to say that? Cartouche. Divine names of power. Yeah. Divine names of power. And that's what you're coming into. It's like understanding that, again, you have support from your spirit team. You have very powerful spirit guides. You have very powerful spirit guides around you, pile 3. And you guys are very powerful souls then by extension, I'm guessing. But that's kind of what they're making me feel, is that you guys are very much like surrounded by all these powerful energies and spirits. And if some of you work with gods or goddesses or deities, like those are definitely, you have a ton of those around you as well, helping you. But also recognizing that power is a beautiful thing to behold. And it's not a bad thing. It's something to be embraced. And you're learning the healthy, positive side to inner power and allowing that to shine through and show in what you do, but through the heart space. Remember, you're allowing that throat and heart to work together and meld into this beautiful emanation of love and light to the outside world. You know what I mean? Beautiful. Love this. Okay. Pile 3, it's been such an honor to tap into your energy, my lovely souls. Thank you so much. If you liked this, go ahead and like and subscribe to see more videos like this. I love you so much, as I said, and I will see you in the next reading.